for you? It's a question. And what are you doing with game? Part two of the question. Game. And what is game? And why you should listen to me. I live with AZD, founder of IMC Nation. Should probably start with that sooner so you guys know about it. AZD, number one player on earth, uses his character, communication skills to attract and seduce and mesmerize and transform. And he's the leader of the IMC Nation movement, where 30 guys have moved and come to Vegas to learn from him more closely. And he's really nothing short of a living master at what he does. It's amazing. It's head and shoulders and head and shoulders and head and shoulders above anybody else that I see what they're doing. We name some of the closest people that are in the field, but they're still. It's just not. You got to measure who it is. So, somewhat this video I'm looking at, it's going to be distributed to guys that they already know a little bit about AZD, and other guys maybe they don't. So a little breakdown. I mean, there'll be a document that I'll put in the bio that'll it's called the evolutions document, so you can see the evolution of the teachings, and it gives some backstory and everything on AZD, personal writing. And that's what I recommend. And guys, if you want to talk game, that's what this is about. So I'm just going to briefly introduce the questions, and then if you guys want to talk game, that'll be great. And the questions are, is game right for you, and what are you doing with game? Now, there's a lot of people, coaches, companies, whatever you call them out there, that are teaching, quote, game, but their game sucks. You might as well call it suck. They're teaching suck. They're not teaching game. And that's difficult for the new person to distinguish. It's just marketing gimmicks and this and that. And so AZD is the best. And so expecting that you either go with that or already know that, then I can say game, there ain't no other place to learn game besides with AZD. And his class that you register for, that is a monthly membership that meets every day, is called The Game. So that's what I mean when I'm saying, is game right for you? Is game right for you? What is the game class? It's pretty incredible. Let's say the last 3 days, a different celebrity has showed up each day online or on the phone. And so that's an amazing reference by itself. But typically, historically what it's been, because more and more celebrities are not only in AZD's network, but they're all looking for advice in game. Every celebrity needs advice in game. And AZD is the only game, what do you call it? Where somebody, advisor, I guess would be the right word for it. Like advisor on game for a celebrity. The only place they could go is AZD. Who else are you going to ask? Outside of like your clique, but your clique has gotten you in whatever predicament with women you're in. So AZD's level of game and how he conducts himself, it's a kind of almost like jujitsu. It's a protection at the same time it's offense, but not overextending. So especially in a celebrity sphere where a person is just pumped with power and recognition and blasted, like every little move gets noticed. Your game's got to be tight, ethically, just airtight, sealed. You know what I mean? Guys, if you want to stream and talk about game, just request, but I'll be wrapping this up in like 5 minutes. So game is his daily class. Historically, unless a celebrity shows up, and it's still kind of about game, like in that same way, but it's different. The game is demonstrated then. Then you see the game that gets the fine woman who is a celebrity in her own world. The people around her treat her like a fucking celebrity. The fine woman, real fine, not just your regular woman. Fine. The way you do that is similar to how you interact with a celebrity, like a legit guy who's high value, big following, or prestigious, rich, something like that. He's some kind of celebrity in his world. It's not easy to be rich. Like maybe some rich people might say that it is, but it's the upper echelon of the upper echelon of the upper echelon of everyone on the planet who's trying to be rich. So there's something special in that state of being. And that's a good way to put it, because AZD's value is a state of being. He has the state of being of the billionaire, of the celebrity, of the whatever, the artist, the gangster. It's a state of being that we're learning from him. And so there's two offerings. There's the game, the daily class, and then there's everything else. Everything else is typically advanced. There are some free stuff and very small items, products and things, digital products and content and whatever. But for the most part, it's the daily class and then advanced trainings. And the advanced trainings are numerous, and they cover a lot of different characters, a lot of different things. Some of them are repeat. They do handily group together in some kind of easy to understand groupings that I've talked about in another video. I call the pillars of learning AZ because we're talking about the number one guy on the planet. So it makes sense that he would have a system. Unless it's the number one of like bigger booger picking or something, nobody cares about that. But if it's something that people care about, let alone relationships, where every person on earth cares about that at the adult age, everybody does. Everybody's suffering. Everybody wants it. Everybody sucks at it. Everybody wants to be better at it, but doesn't want to admit it, doesn't want to pay for it, doesn't want to try, but they want to be better. So it starts with that motivation. And so, of course, he has a system, and that system is not really systematized by him. He's just an artist. He is an artist, so he doesn't really systematize things too much. He does develop mental processes or is bestowed mental processes by the way he lives. He's creative like that. He's creative with the mind, and that's what a lot of the advanced trainings are processes and states of mind that clarify your character and how to conduct yourself. And it's not so much him telling you how to conduct yourself, it's putting you in a state of mind that you see. It reveals to you how you should conduct yourself in alignment with your own state of mind. But what are we talking about? I'm talking about, is game right for you? And so you look like a chick. I don't know if you're a chick. If you're a chick, it's probably not for you. But if you're a dude, game is a daily membership class that teaches the game, but it doesn't teach it the way that schmucks have learned it out there. In schmuck meaning like you got taken advantage of by other people's programs, who tried to teach systems and this and that, but their systems suck. I'm the guy that systematized what AZD teaches, and I keep systematizing it and making your evolution faster, but better, because you can't rush the tree to grow, but you can definitely stunt its growth. Give it a bunch of poison and it won't grow. But give it all the fertilizer in the world and it's only going to grow so fast. You can't make it grow overnight. So your journey to learning game and mastering women, social dynamics, reputation, relationships, really, because the men on the planet are also feminized. So they communicate indirectly, and you got to decipher what they mean. And if you want relationships or negotiations, business or whatever with them, you just have to be a master. You got to be a master all the way around. And the daily game class is really for the player, the aspiring player, or the guy who really wants to learn how we game. But we're going exclusively to certain kinds of venues that is not for everybody. And we live in Las Vegas, which is not available to everybody. So the daily game membership, $150 a month or $147, is a great investment to get disciplined on a daily meeting if you can show up. When it comes to watching recordings, you do get access to a lot of history of past recordings before we moved to Vegas, which has tons of mindset in it. There's really just a lot of content there. And then there's the advanced trainings, which deliver a more tangible outcome. The daily class has always been, the outcome is get consistent with your schedule, live around a consistent schedule, and tap in with your tribe, share your wins, learn to voice up in a group. It's like be a tribal member. You could just show up and listen to the recordings, and those are going to be for guys that want to learn the game, how we talk about game in and out, through and through, day after day, because we're going out consistently, and on days we don't go out, we still talk about the next day, we still talk about last night we hung out with this girl or talked to this girl or whatever, or some realizations we had, because it's not all about women. It's actually a small fraction of what it's about. It's just that's the weakest link for all men, married men, single men, monk men, player men, like that, and the ability to communicate and express about it. And men have nowhere to do that. And so their language is completely undeveloped about it. And so then their understandings are completely undeveloped about it. And that's why women beat men everywhere. They just have more understanding, even if it's warped, manipulative understandings. They do. So to take back your balls and your power and your sovereignty as a man, you want to be learning the game. The game membership is not the only way to do that. We have other infield products and dating seminars and other trainings that are advanced trainings, but they're more condensed and to the point. So you may pay 5 times as much for it, but you spend 5 times less time with it and get 5 times more evolved. And so it's like 25 times better for only 5 times the price. But it's like it is 5 times the price. Or let's say in roundabout, those are advanced trainings. And that's like, what are you trying to do with game? Because if you just do the daily class, you're not going to get that far. It'll be entertaining and you'll be entertained for years. And later you won't be any better necessarily. We don't talk to the guys online. They just watch. But the online program is very, very good for people who do come in person, even if infrequently, or who do the advanced trainings, because the daily class supplements that. But you could just jump to advanced trainings. You could just do the infield products. That, like I said, there's about 6 or 7 different subjects that AZD really teaches. One of them is game, and it's all of them are imbued with game. Everything he does is game. He is the number one on the earth. Like, you can't even get away from it. So yes, there's language and influence, and there's acting techniques, and there's self-defense techniques, and there's self-discipline system, and there's spirituality, and he's teaching all these things. There's a certain gangster code that's you somehow an offshoot of the acting tech and the self-disciplinary tech, and there's this evolution that becomes the G code, how to maneuver as a group that's attractive and seductive to women, that keeps your power high and raises it even higher, and it's called the G code, and you operate like that even if you don't have a gang, and it's very attractive. AZD has hacked the code of behavior that gets the women. That's what I'm saying. It's a state of being, and the success isn't the proof. So for new people or whoever, if you got to this point in the video, you either liked me or you already know how good AZD is. But the dude is a player among players. He's so good, and it's an awareness and a presence and a readiness and a lot. There's a lot of variables in it that I probably don't even measure. But he's teaching how he got there. And I'm also sharing the message of how he got there and how I've observed him get there and how I'm getting there. And I am there. I mean, I talk to the most beautiful women in Las Vegas every night. And some of them form friendships and some of them form relationships. And I have relationships. And it's fulfilling because the skill set bleeds into everything. All of your business, sales, family interactions, with strangers. This is amazing. I've been at it for years, and it's paying off in fruits of the character, which is so rich, and it's so difficult to get to because everybody's so hypnotized by the mush of life. And I'm highly educated and all kinds of experiences, whatever, but none of it gave me what I needed for this level of presence and social dynamic. And that's a beautiful thing. So is game right for you? The daily class is definitely, if you want to be tapped in daily, consistently with AZD and the tribe, and learning the language of how to game in field with us. If you have other objectives, sales, state of mind, being able to shift your state of mind at will, performance optimization, game, but you just don't have time for daily membership, or you want something else, like we have other infield and stuff like that. Like, there's other subjects that people learn from AZD. Maybe that's where you want to take your game, because what are you doing with game? Obviously, game is life. Life is game. It's a strategy of how to play the game of life. Learning the genetic code of men and women is a huge aspect of it, but there's so much else in recognizing value, being able to express yourself, and getting to the core root of your humanity, so you're not expressing a drone automaton. You're expressing a robot when you express yourself, because you don't know you. So self-discovery, like, these are other things you can do with game, and you'll take it as far as you can take it. So I recommend, when you see this, get in touch back with me about, okay, I want to learn influence. I want to learn the genetic code. I want to learn how to live with a woman. I want to learn from the top player on earth. I want to learn the self-discipline processes, because I'm lacking self-discipline. I lack energy. I lack fitness. I lack that. Like, he has a system. He's the best in the world, and he developed a system for that creates you into a natural-born, attractive character. Like, reborn again. That's his system. It's amazing. So I've seen so many guys change, and my job is to get the word out and facilitate you guys getting the goods so that you change. Like, we're selling change. Real change. 35 guys would not move across the United States if they, like, you try to move. What does it take for you to move? 35 adult men did that. And we live together, a lot of us in bases, some of us individually. Another guy just moved here actually on Monday, so 36. The success is in the proof, just like the guy that has multiple relationships with 9s and 10s for years and years. Just, those are words that just go over your head. Multiple relationships with 9s and 10s for years and years. There, I think you might have gotten it then. I forgot what I was saying, actually. I lost my point. That guy, whatever. Okay? Alright, I'll link a bunch of shit in this YouTube video. Everybody online, I think just start somewhere. All right. I'll see you guys. Os. Be the best. Fuck the rest. IMC Nation.